Welcome to View from the Top here in Marrakesh, where I am hosting the Business of Luxury Summit. Our guest here this morning is François-Henri Pinault, who is the Chief Executive of PPR, one of the great luxury companies in the world with brands like Stella McCartney, Puma and others. François-Henri, welcome.
Thank you.
You're an optimist about the world economy and about the luxury business.
Yeah, very optimistic, uber optimistic, of course.
And why? What are the grounds when you think of all the problems that we have in Europe at the moment?
Well, because it's a worldwide business and structurally this market, the luxury market, is growing structurally, and it will be true for the next 10 to 20 years, particularly in Asia, but not only in Asia. So it keeps me very optimistic, of course.
And tell us about China.
Well, China, we did a wonderful year last year. All our brands all together in mainland China, we grew between 35 to 40%. It's exceptional. It's true that this year the growth may be only around 20%, which is still amazing. And it will continue. So I'm not at all worried about China. On the contrary, I'm very optimistic.
So although China will slow down slightly, luxury will still be growing at
I think China has to cope with that amazing level of growth. So, and it's difficult. So it's not abnormal that the country makes some pause to continue to grow structurally, which will happen. And considering our group, we have a portfolio of brands. So of course, Gucci is the biggest one in China, doing very well. Then we have Bottega coming just behind. Then we have YSL. Then we have Balenciaga, Stella McCartney, Alexander McQueen, etc., etc. So I'm very, very optimistic, of course.
So one of the themes of this week's summit, the luxury summit, is the growth of lifestyle and lifestyle brands. How is your group adapting and exploiting this trend?
Well, it's true that lifestyle per se, it's more on the sports and lifestyle part of the group, which you mentioned Puma and also Volcom, where we have really brands that define themselves representing a real lifestyle of people. And
Volcom is which brand is that?
Well, Volcom is an American brand that was born in 1991 from the surf passion, the skateboard passion, the snowboard passion, and doing very well, talking to a very young segment of customers, 15 to 25 years old, and doing very well.
How can you exploit these brands further? How can you stretch them further? So a surfing brand, if you like, becomes what?
Well, it will go, for instance, as it's a lifestyle brand, we have our own music label in Volcom. We promote our own artists because it's part of that culture or subculture of surfing, of snowboarding. Puma also, through sustainability and the place of Africa in Puma's DNA. For instance, we have a minority stake in a company called Wilderness, which is luxury lodges in Africa, and there is a real link between Puma and Wilderness in terms of sustainability and in terms of lifestyle also.
So a pair of started out as a pair of shoes and suddenly it's an exclusive holiday with some sustainability thrown in.
Well, it's a way of living, of course, embodied by shoes, by apparel and accessories. It's about joy, it's about colors, it's about sports, it's about healthiness, it's about sustainability. And Wilderness has the same values in a different industry. So the links, it's obvious between the two brands.
And you've talked about bringing luxury to the masses, the elevation of style, if you like, over status. What's the danger that somehow luxury begins to be devalued if that trend takes place?
It can. The danger would be that the focus of a luxury brand on the product, which is absolutely key, is deviated towards other directions, which could be a danger. For instance, the accessibility to the products, which was a key part of the definition of a luxury brand. It was difficult to access. There were very few stores in the world. This has disappeared. But it forces the brands to focus on the product, which means creativity, exquisite craftsmanship, and exquisite materials. I would add the functionality part also. And this is absolutely key. And even if the brand is moving lifestyle, meaning that it could address every moment of your life, it has to be sincere in every product. Could it be a casual product, or could it be a very fashionable cocktail dress, for instance?
Now, a question closer to home. We've just seen the election of a French president, a socialist. You head a global company with all sorts of interests around the world. It's growing fast. Are you concerned a bit that you're going to find it a bit harder to do business in France now with higher taxes?
Well, it has always been a little bit difficult. You know, it's a complicated country, but it's well, I love that country, of course. So, but you know, in the way we are reshaping the group, the French market when it comes to sports and luxury is representing in those two segments only 6% of the total turnover. So it's not a danger for the overall group, and we will remain a strong player in France. I hope that Mr. Hollande will be able to cope with all the constraints he has to deal with. Could it come to the debt, could it comes to the euro problem. So it's the room for maneuver is very difficult. So we will see. And then there was the promises during the campaign. What would be feasible in reality? We have to wait and see how it comes out.
François-Henri, are you ready to play long short?
Let's try.
Okay, London 2012.
Or long.
As a Frenchman.
Long.
Long. Okay,
long.
Good. The Euro.
Well, I wish long. I wish long.
Angela Merkel.
Long.
News International.
Excuse me?
News International, Mr. Murdoch's company.
Well, no, I would say long.
Long. Oil prices.
I would say long also.
Skirts.
What do you mean skirts?
Les jupes.
Very long.
Very long. Good.
And short.
Okay. Private equity.
Long, but more regulated.
Mitt Romney.
Well, maybe short.
Finally, Facebook.
Long.
François-Henri Pinault, thank you very much for
Thank
playing
you.
long short and doing this View from the Top interview.
Thank you very much.